This is Devin Mann from Man Versus. The following episode of Man Versus was recorded at All In Recording Studios. In order to win, you gotta be all in. You hear me? All In Recording Studios. Let's get it, baby. Yo, what's up, y'all? I know it's been a minute. It's Devin with Man Versus here, and we got a very interesting topic. We got, something that's not really talked too much about in the black community, in the African community, Caribbean community, just black people all together, you know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about mental health, you feel me? And I will consider a pretty good expert. He over here laughing. I consider a pretty good expert in mental health. Introduce yourself, bruh.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Michael Boateng.
My boy. So if you don't know, Boateng is actually like a common last name in Ghana, right? You're Ghanaian?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes, sir.
Boateng is like, you ever meet a black person named like last name like Johnson or something
Johnson,
that?
Or Smith.
Or Smith.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Brown. No, Brown is the one. Like every black person's last name is Brown for some reason. Like it's really weird. But yeah, so I know it's been a minute. But yeah, we got a lot of good podcasts coming out pretty soon. But yeah, I want to talk on mental health because just this past week it was Men's Mental Health Awareness Week, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I saw, and this year was actually the first year that I saw so many black people post it, talk about it, the suicide rates and everything and how it's done, and like black men speak out and women helping, all that stuff. And I was like, you know what, this would be a really good topic to talk about on the podcast, because some stuff I don't agree with, as you probably know.
I'm not surprised.
As you probably know. But some of it I do agree with. I'd be like, you know what, like, if it works for you, it works for you.
Right.
Like, so, I just want to really get into that. And you have a company, right?
Yeah. So I got a clothing company. It's called Abrantie and Signora. So it's a lifestyle brand, okay? And our main focus is on mental health awareness. Like, we're big on that because, like you said, our people don't know. They have a lack of understanding for mental health.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Abrantie Signora. So where did the name come from?
So we started this in 2017, and the name really came from Abrantie is gentleman in the Ghanaian language, and Signora means Italian. I'm sorry, Signora is Italian. It means women. In, Italian. And we just wanted to promote a lot of positivity amongst men and women, especially, minorities, because everybody sees what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Here in America, here in different countries. Look what's going on in Ghana and Nigeria. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, Nigeria is going through it, no cap.
Exactly. Even I seen something on Twitter today. About 2 or 3 people died in Ghana because they were doing some protests and they sent the military out there. And
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it just wasn't looking good. So we just want to promote a lot of positivity because you can never not promote a lot of positivity with all the negativity going on around here. So
yeah, I think we do need to be more positive as a people. Like, and this is where a lot of people disagree with me. I be telling people like that they're stronger than what they are. I be like, yo, like, don't let what you see on social media or like a lot of other black people tell you. I be like, don't let that get you down, because like all we hear is, oh, we poor, we ghetto, we hood, like we not gonna make it, like we got so much going against us. And in my mind, I'd be like, fuck that, nigga. I'm finna.
Which is true, but it's easier said than done.
Absolutely. But real quick, when I say that, I'm not saying it's easy. Okay, you're talking to a dude that had 4 open heart surgeries. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying none of this stuff is easy, but it is very doable.
Right.
And I think that a lot of black people, like when they hear me say that, they be like, well, it's not that easy. Obviously not that easy. Nigga, life not easy. Life is hard.
True.
Like just waking up every day, going to work, driving to work, or if you work remote, like even working remote is hard. Like you gotta do a lot of stuff. You can't ask someone who's right next to you. You gotta, send an email or something like that. Like life is hard, but at the same time, those hardships should make you stronger over time. Like I think that what happens to a lot of people, especially in America, and I really can't speak on any other country because I don't know anything about mental health in other countries, but I think a lot of people in America are just lazy. This sounds so bad. It sounds so bad, but I think a lot of people are just lazy and too comfortable. And because how comfortable they are, and because how quote unquote easy life is here in America, when it doesn't go their way, they just get sad. Like, and I tell my friends who are African I try to explain to them, like, their parents, like, their parents come from, some of them leave war-torn countries. You know what I'm saying? Some of them live in like extreme poverty. Like, I have friends' parents in India who used to live on the streets in India. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so when they come here and they talk about mental health, I'm like, oh, dad, I'm depressed, or mom, I'm sad. They be like, what are you sad about? Like, this is the best life you can ever imagine.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but you said something. You was like, what did you say? You was like, oh, this is the greatest country in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand, like, how can living in America be so hard? And I feel like that's like a common misconception, because life in America is hard.
It is hard. Okay, keep going. I don't want to cut you off.
It's hard. And I feel like, especially speaking from my point of view, like, I got family members back home in Ghana, and, every day they call in, oh, I need money for this, I need money for that. They think here, money grows on trees. But you got to work hard for everything you got here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, of course, everybody's mindset is different. So when it comes to like something like mental health, of course, like people in other countries, some people don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Like and I think a thing that plays into it is like, you don't have time for mental health or depression when you're in other countries.
True.
Like, this is going to sound really messed up. Oh my God. Please don't. Oh my God. But I think mental health issues are kind of a luxury. Because think of, okay, wait, hold on. Let me explain.
Yeah, you have to explain that.
Okay, right? When your parents are leaving, and of course not saying that everyone in different countries are poor, because that's ignorant. But when your parents are poor in a different country and they're doing like they're hustling, do what they can to survive and come here or go somewhere else or go to Britain or, go to another country to have a better life, they don't have time to sit there and be like, oh, I'm sad. Like, they don't have that quote unquote luxury that we have, because here in America, we can sit here, like some companies offer PTO for mental health days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some companies, they'll cover your insurance for to talk to a therapist, or or like, you feeling sick, you want to take a day off, like you need a stress day. You can do that here in America.
Right.
In other countries, you can't really do that. Like, you work, like I know in India, because I went to a seminar for a business school one time. This lady, I can't remember her name, but she was from India, right? Mm-hmm. She was saying like they work, 6 days a week, like 10-hour days.
Wow.
Yeah.
60 hours.
Yeah. So like you working 60 hours, but she said she made good money though. But maybe her story's a little bit different. But here in America, if you told someone that you work 6 days a week, 60 hours, they'd be like, bro, what? You need to take a day off, you need to relax, you need to stress. But there, she said it's the norm for people to work so much, to do like that. And I don't know how it's in Ghana. Maybe you can, enlighten me and whatever, but like, you don't have the time to sit here and be like, oh, I'm sad, I'm depressed, especially if you got a family. If you got a little kid on the way, there is no such thing as, oh, I got to sit here. No, bro. Like, you got to get to the money. You got to do your job. Then you come to America. But by the time you come to America, you're like 40, 50, 60 years old. Right. And you set in your ways. So it's like, you haven't had the luxury to experience, oh, I'm sad, I'm depressed, or I'm angry, or I have PTSD.
Right.
All you know is, like, why you sad? Like you're right. You don't know what I went through. I used to walk 30 miles a day type stuff.
And I feel like a lot of Africans coming here to the States, they don't realize the kind of mental health luxury, like you said, that they have. Because I know a lot of Ghanaians and Nigerians, they'll come here and they'll work. They work 60. I even know some people who work 70 plus hours a week.
Chale.
Just because, like, they want to stack as much bread as they can. And, whether it's going back home to build houses or to take care of family members. But it's like, you sitting here busting your ass trying to work. But it's like, if something happens to you, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take time for yourself. You need to take time off. Clear your mind, clear your mental. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. Let out that stress. Whatever it is that you need to do. Because when you keep that boxed up inside of you, you're going to get to a breaking point. You're just going to snap. Like, a side of you will come out that people might not never seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, and I agree with you. I am a firm believer in taking off like rest days or even like rest periods, because there are like people in certain professions where they'll work for like 2 months straight and they'll take off like 3 weeks.
Right.
Like I'm in support of stuff like that because your mind is like a muscle. You feel me? Not like a physical muscle, but like a mental muscle, right? Like with any muscle, you work it. You know what I'm saying? You put stress on it, then you take some time off, and you should come back a little bit stronger.
Yeah. You need recovery time.
Yeah. But the context is you should come back a little bit stronger though.
Right.
I don't think that you should take recovery time and come back weaker. If you take recovery time and come back weaker, then I think something happened, or like you might need to talk. I don't know. But I think you should come back stronger, because if you are working and let's say, you got 10 or 15 days of PTO and you work for like 2 months and you're like, bet I'm going to take 3 days off, going on a little vacation. So you leave Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you come back Sunday. You should be able to like, okay, I can work 2.5 months now.
Right.
If you come back and you're like, okay, I can only work like a month and a half. It's like, okay,
you good?
Are you good? Like something's wrong, because you shouldn't be weaker than what you were. You should be better than what you were.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car. Like if your car is slowly getting messed up over time, it's like, yo, you might want to take your car to the shop, bro. Like it's kind of messed up. So that's where I think I differ with a lot of people. Now I recently just kind of, and I still don't understand it all the way, but like depression. For the longest, I did not get depression. Like I was like, bro, what are you sad about? Like, dog, get over it. It's so bad, but I've gotten more understanding of it because I was really ignorant about it. Like I'm not gonna flex. Like I really I thought I knew about depression, but I was like, bro, like y'all just sad. Like get over it, bro. Like life. But I will say though, a lot of people aren't actually depressed. You're just having a bad day. You might be having a bad week. Depression, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Mental Health, but depression, if I understand, is like over several months, like to even potentially years. Like you don't get depressed one day and then you're good.
True.
Like, and I see that happen. People are like, I'm so depressed. I'm like, are you really depressed? Or are you just having a bad day or a bad week?
Because with depression, I see it as like a cycle.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Something that's happening over and over and over, like on like it's like a consistent kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's yeah.
Yeah, like because even I get bad days, right? Like me as being mentally strong as I am, like I get bad days. Like Planet Juneteenth, like I get stressed, bro. Like, and I'm talking about stress like in March, and March till June is like almost 3 months. You feel me? So like. I get the stress. I'm not going to deny the stress, but I think a lot of people should really, sit down and think to yourself, like, are you really depressed? Like, do you really need therapy right now? You might need therapy. I don't know. But the whole, like, I'm depressed for a day and then I'm good. I'm like, I'm not.
And I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people are afraid to ask for help.
Males especially.
Yeah, because like me, for example, like I'm a very independent person. Like you're not gonna see me asking nobody for no type of help. Like if I gotta get something done, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, like I've slowly started to understand, like I can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to take yourself out of that comfort zone, because asking for help is actually one of the best ways of self-care.
Really?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you go about it. Because it's not every single time like, yo, help me do this, help me do this, help me do this. Okay, what are you doing for yourself? You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I can see the logic behind that, because just like you, I'm a very independent person. Okay. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Because it's kind of like with planning Juneteenth, I got a team with me.
Right.
Dewan and Dev, like, they're my boys. You feel me? Ride or die. So I kind of get it, because they do take the stress off a little bit.
Exactly.
Because, they handle certain parts that, I don't really want to handle, or not might not be that good at it. Like Dewan, oh my God, he knows how to talk and finesse. Like, bro, he might be, I can see him being a governor one day, or like president or something. Like he's a good orator. Like he knows how to talk to people.
Right.
I am not that good at talking to people. Like I just be like, man, fuck it. Like tell them it is what it is. Like, no, we gotta do it this way.
Right.
And we gotta finesse. You gotta talk like this. And you might gotta, stretch your tooth a little bit, blah, blah. I'd be like, yo, like you really good at this. But yeah, I do get what you're saying with the whole, are you looking out for yourself? Get some help. Because I don't ask for help, like ever. Like help. What is that? Hell, what's that? Yeah, I just do whatever I want, right? But yeah, so how did you get into mental health?
So it's like growing up, it's something that was never talked about. Never. Like growing up, I didn't even know what mental health was until maybe when I started college.
Because your parents are straight from Ghana, right?
Yes. So like even like growing up and seeing like, the struggles my parents go through, like especially like with my dad, like you said, especially with males, like they can go through so much mentally and like they'll keep that shit bottled up. Like you could, like, I know a lot of times they think fathers are like really emotionless.
Yeah.
Because it's like they don't want to show any ounce of emotion because they don't want their families to see that they're sad or feeling some type of way about something. You know what I'm saying?
I think we equate emotions to weakness.
Yes.
I definitely do.
Yes. Because it's like you're acting sad or you feel some type of way about something, then you're like, damn, I'm weak. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as strong as I think I am, because if I was, why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling some type of way about something? I just got to do better.
I get you behind that, because my dad is like that. He's I wouldn't say he's emotionless, but I will say it takes a lot of stressors for him to actually get to that point. Because kind of like him, like I'm like, that's not that big of a deal. Like unless it's in my box. So okay. So I had this thing called a box, right? And really what's in my box is like two things. Like people being late, because I feel like you don't respect me or my time, and people lying to me, because I feel like you don't respect me. Because like I tell the truth. Like I tell the truth so much it gets me in trouble on Twitter with my friends, with my family.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, me and you got into it because I tell the truth so much, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a little mental trick that I have for myself. And if it's not really in that box, I don't really get, I'd be like, oh, whatever.
Right.
Like I might get annoyed, but it's not gonna be that deep. But if you're like 45 minutes late, oh man, I get dog. What?
Especially when they don't tell you what
Oh
happened.
my God. That's when the emotions in me come out. But yeah, like my dad, he doesn't really get emotional like that. Like I think like seriously yell, I think I've seen my dad yell like maybe 4 times in my life. Like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I can't remember. Like it's so inconsistent and so like he doesn't yell that. Yeah, I don't even know if it's been 4 or 5 times. But I have seen him cry though. He cried when went to a funeral and it was my auntie. Yeah, and I actually and I've only cried, I think in my adult life, only cried twice. Once when my uncle died when I was in college, like my sophomore year. And then I'm springing this on you. I really don't want to bring it up, but like Dallas died. My dog died. Like, yeah, I was so sad. Oh my God, bro. Like I was sad for like a month and a half. Like,
damn.
I wasn't depressed, but I was probably super close. Like I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work out. Like I took less photo shoots, but my girl did get me through it. Like she got me a little picture of him, like in like a little thing. And she was over there and she was like, whatever you want to talk about. Like, we did stuff that I wanted to do, made me feel better. But like I cried for like, so when I figured out we had to put him down because he was gonna die that day.
Damn.
Like they was like, I was like, so if like, what can we do? And they was like, nothing. Because I was like, money's not an issue. Like I'll pay whatever. Like I have a lot of savings. I was like, I'll pay whatever right now. And they was like, there's nothing we can do. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you pay. Like there's nothing you can do.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my God. And I couldn't even have my grandma in the same room because like it's our dog. It was my dog because I got him for my surgery to like, he was like a therapy dog.
Right.
But he stayed with my grandma because I went to college. So like they got really close.
Right.
and she couldn't even be there when he died. Like she was like she can't see it. Like she, so I had to be there. I had to watch him die. I had to pay for that. You know, I got his urn. When I got his urn back from the ashes, and they had like a little paw print and like some fur of his, like I cried for like 2-3 days straight. Like I was barely texting folk. And I mind you, this is like right when I started planning Juneteenth in February. Like I was like, oh my God. I was like, bro, life is just kicking my ass. And then, but you know, time healed all wounds, like they say. I don't know how true it is for everybody else, but it definitely healed me. And then my other dog, Red, I feel like he knew. So like he kind of just like played with me a lot and, you know, stayed with me a little bit, and like it was much better. But yeah, like that kind of helped me understand more of like the mental aspect of males. Cause like I knew he was getting old, like Dallas. I knew he was getting old. Cause I was like, damn, he's like 14. Wow. But he's never really had no issues. Like, I mean, like little small stuff, like, you know, maybe fleas or like, you know, dandruff or whatever, but nothing like big. Like he's never like, he wasn't overweight. Like, you know, he walked twice a week every day. No, he walked twice a day every day for like years with my grandma. So he was healthy, and it came out of nowhere. It like, cause we were supposed to take him to the beach this year because, you know, COVID got better. And we were like, okay, he's gonna see the beach. And then next year he's probably gonna die.
Right.
Couldn't even do that. That it broke. Damn. No cap. So yeah, I'm very much more aware of males' mental health because people don't even know that we count for 75% of all suicides.
Yeah, I saw that statistic and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that kind of got to me. But did you hear the reason why though? So like the reason why apparently is because like we do more violent suicides. So like there's violent I think I could be wrong. I don't know. But like there's like violent suicide and there's like soft suicide.
Yeah.
So like, you know, jumping off a building, a gun, you know, that's violent.
Yeah.
And like the soft stuff is like pills.
Pills, yeah.
So like women, I think I'm wrong, but I think women do more suicide attempts, but male have more actual suicides. Because if you take some pills, they can pump your stomach, you throw up, and you know you might be in the ICU for a couple of days, but you be straight. If you shoot yourself in the face,
that's it.
Ain't no coming back.
You done.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. But you have any stories on mental health? Mr. African.
I mean, I would say again, like,
man, I'm gonna tear up right now, bro.
Really?
Talking about my dog. I'm so sad.
when you started talking about your dog, it started making me think like with Africans, right? Something like that, they wouldn't like. They'd be like, "Oh, it's just a dog."
Oh,
like, get over it.
You
know what I'm saying?
I would have died for that dog. He was family. He was like the way you feel about your niece or nephew, or even like your first cousin, is how I felt about Dallas. Like, dog, like he was family, bro. Yeah. We're about to tear up.
Yeah, but damn, what was I gonna say? Like growing up, like again, like me personally, like sometimes I think back to like my childhood, and shit wasn't always easy because of course my parents they busting their ass, you know, trying to look out for me and my 3 siblings. My mom was in nursing school for how many years? Like, imagine a parent leaving your children with the other parent, going to a different state, working a full-time job and taking full-time classes. You know what I'm saying? And we were all young at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I know that was a lot on our mental health and my parents' mental health as well. But like, because it wasn't until I started getting older and was where I saw like how you can deal with your mental health. When I was younger, like I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times like you could be going through something, and because you're afraid of how your parents might react when you say, "Oh, I'm feeling some type of way about this," or like you're getting bullied at school and you don't want to say nothing because it's like, what can your parents do? Or your parents going to be like, "Oh," it's just their reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people are more scared of the reaction, which is why they don't say nothing. They keep everything inside because if I know that if I say something to you and you finna flip out, I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm gonna keep it to myself. If I know if I say this and it's gonna make you sad, I'm not gonna say it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because,
I think a lot of people are like that. I think a lot of people
have too big of a caring heart because I care about other people's feelings.
Oh my God.
You don't believe me?
No. I believe you. I'm just the very opposite. I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, man, I don't care about these people. Like, I care about people, but I'd be like,
and that can be a blessing and a curse.
Definitely.
Because it's like, I feel like when it comes to certain things, people need to be able to learn how to do it on their own. If you're always there to help them out, everything, they will never learn. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
And I've started to notice that with like my younger brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because those are my boys. You know what I'm saying? Like anything they need, I got them. But I've also realized like they're 20 now. Okay, they're at the age where they can make decisions for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So if they come and ask me like, "Yo, Mike, I need help fixing this on my car," I'm not gonna do it for you. I can explain to you how you can
instructions.
Get it done. I can give you instructions, but I'm not gonna do it for you because then you don't learn. Then next time when something happens, you're just gonna come to me again, like, oh,
over and over.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing happens. You know what I'm saying?
You get a crutch.
That's how I learned. Any single time I went through something, like when I got my first car, I got a flat tire. I told my dad, "Yo, I got a flat tire." He told me what I needed to do. He didn't even show me my first flat tire. He told me what I need to do. He's like, "You need to do this, and this." And I went and did it. And you know what happened when I got another flat tire? I didn't even call him. I knew what to do already.
That's tough.
You know what I'm saying? It's tough, but it's tough
that's
love.
Real tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that is real. That is real love, and that's real tough. I'm kind of the same way. Like when people ask me to do stuff, I'd be like, "All right, you want to do this, this, and this," and then that's how you do it. So now you got the instructions, now go do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you did say something earlier about coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. So what are some good coping mechanisms? I said that. Oh my. What are some good coping mechanisms that we can do? And I want to say, make this more towards the men because, like, and we can do some for the women. Definitely for the women, but I think that men now more than ever need some help.
Right.
Because like I know dudes who are like I think are like depressed, and I could be wrong because I don't do therapy.
Again, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out here. This is at no way any type of medical advice. I'm not no medical professional or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? This
not yet.
True, not yet. These are just my opinions. What works best for me. I would say for starters, you need to find that one person that you can talk to. Like, whether it's a guy, whether it's a girl. And fellas, like, we should not be afraid or we shouldn't think that it's weak to talk about our feelings. We should not. Like, if you got to go talk to your homeboy and you got to break down and cry and let it out, do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's better for you to do that than to keep it bottled in. Because trust me, when you keep your emotions bottled in like that, it starts to show in other aspects of your life, whether it's school, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your job. You know what I'm saying? It starts to show. So I know that's what works very well for me. Like, if I'm going through something, I have a couple people I can hit up and be like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? I went through this today. This made me upset. This made me mad. This made me whatever." You know what I'm saying? So definitely try to find somebody you can, be an outlet to you. Somebody you can vent to. You know what I'm saying?
So let it out. Yeah, my girl is like that person. Like, before her, I didn't really tell anyone my issues. Well, I didn't really have that many issues. I personally don't think. People could tell me I'm wrong, but it is what it is. But yeah, like when my dog died, or like even when I have issues with my friends, or something tough in my, or like me stressing about Juneteenth, or me, you know what I'm saying, like my second semester graduating, right, like my last semester graduating, like she was the only person I told how many classes I took. She was very positive about it. She was like, "You got this." Like, where's the affirmation? Like normally I don't do those because I like it's not my love language, or like I don't get it, whatever. But like she did help me with that. My dog, like, you know, she was there for me, you know, so things like that. So I do agree with you on the whole venting and, you know, having a person to talk to, because boy, oh boy, if he died and I didn't have her, I don't even know. I probably would have been, I'd probably be sad right now. I've been doing this podcast. I'd probably be super depressed.
Yeah. I know another thing that works well for me, I would say finding some sort of hobby or something you can do to let out that stress. Like me, I will go to the gym and work out. Yeah, like remember, was it a couple days ago? Posting on my Snap, I was like, go to the gym when you're angry because you get the best results.
Oh yeah, you told me you was angry.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not even gonna get into what the situation was, but you know, I was upset. You know what
she do, bruh? What she do? Because that's when I get the best workout. She done made you mad.
So yeah, I went to the gym, and normally if I'm lifting, you know what I'm saying, I'll lift for like an hour, do some cardio, call it a day. I was in the gym for a minute. I was just pumping iron. I lifted for like 2 hours.
Oh, what she do, man? I know she did something.
I lifted for 2 hours and I came out. I was like, damn, I feel better.
I will admit, I do feel good after a good leg day. Like I do feel mentally, because like I think, and when you get angry, like your whole body gets like tense or stressed. I don't know the word, but like you know, you just feel tight, right?
Yeah.
Like when you mad, like you walking stiff, your shoulders up, your chest out, your legs all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then you know you go in there and get a good workout, pump some iron, you feel good. And then, you know, you good to go.
Yep.
So it is what it is. But that is, I hope y'all men out here hear that, you know what I'm saying? Get your homeboy that you can talk to, you know, like cry if you need to. I don't really cry like that, but, you know, cry if you need to. And then you said the second one was a stressor, like a stress release, right?
Yeah. Find something that you can release your stress. Me personally is going to the gym. Sometimes I also take walks. Like walks are they're very good for cardio and they're very relaxing.
So it's therapeutic.
Therapeutic.
You believe in therapy?
Yes. Well, yes. Like, me personally, have I been to therapy? No. Have I thought about it? Yes. But there's just a small part of me, like, I don't want to go and tell a stranger what I be going through. You know what I'm saying? But nothing's wrong with that. You have to find what works best for you.
Okay.
And if you've been going to therapy, whatever your therapist says to do. Like, stick to that. Don't come in and listen to me or, oh, Michael said that, oh, he don't go to therapy, so I'm going to do. No, don't. Again, I'm not a medical professional yet, so don't take this as medical advice. But if you go to therapy and that works for you, stick with that. Whatever works best for your mental health, stick with that. And I don't even want to get into, like, medications because I don't know too much about medications, but
I'm a believer in therapy, but I'm also a believer in not everyone needs therapy. And people disagree. Like everyone that I've talked to has disagreed with me with this, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You have your opinions or whatever. I have my opinions, but I feel like humanity is a spectrum, and there are some people who need therapy. Like I know people who need therapy. Where I'm like, yeah, bro, like you need to keep going. Like if you stop going, I'm afraid. Right. And I also feel like on the opposite end, there are people who, you know what I'm saying, like they straight. Like, you know, you feel me? Like
exactly.
You living your life.
And I can agree with that because, like I said, you just have to find what works best for you. Because some people, all they got to do, they have that one or two people they talk to. Whenever they're going through something, to talk to that person, they good. They don't need to go to therapy. But again, like you said, some people, you need to go to therapy. Talk it out with your therapist. Whatever your therapist recommends, follow those guidelines or follow those instructions because it's what's best for your mental health.
Yeah, and I think that also plays into the ties of, you know, your parents not understanding what mental health is and things like that. Because like in the Black community, right? Like most of our parents, well, I'm not gonna say everyone's parents, but most of our parents are either from the projects or from the hood. So kind of like African parents, they didn't really have no time to worry about. Right. No depression, no mental, like they ain't had no time for that.
Right.
Like you was working when you was like 11 years old.
Right.
And then from 11 to 18, you was working, saving money, helping pay rent. Then you got 18, your parents kicked you out.
Right.
Then at 18, you're on your own. So they ain't have no time to stress about I'm depressed or I'm sad or or I can't do. They was like, no, I gotta get it.
Exactly.
And I feel like me being so close to my dad, I also have that mindset. Like, I mean, my life was pretty gravy, and I'm going like minus the heart surgeries and stuff, me out of the hospital. Besides that, my life was pretty gravy. Like, you know, had good grades. You know, because I had good grades, I got what I wanted. You know, I got a job, paid great for being in high school and in college. Like 15 an hour being a lifeguard. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I was getting paid good money or whatever, and I was wearing Prada, buying all cologne and stuff. Yeah, I was wearing. I wouldn't buy it today though. Like Prada shoes,
because you know better.
I know better. Yeah. Like it was a dumb thing for me. But you get your first check, you get like 1,000. You like, I'm gonna go ball out. Get the check, you spend it. Now you broke again. It was. I wouldn't do it again today though. But yeah, I think that's where I got a lot of my thinking from is from my dad. Now he is more proponent of mental health than I am, and I think it's his fault because he didn't teach me. Because he never told me that he was big on mental health. He was just like, oh man, nah, these people just lazy, they tripping, blah, blah, blah. Right. And he never gave, but, go to a therapist. I was like, now I'm raised this way and I don't really do mental health, and now you got me messed up. And people think I'm a monster. But but yeah, I'm a big proponent of, I'm a more supporting proponent of therapy and mental health and things like that, than I used to be. Like definitely 2-3 years ago, for a fact. Like 3 years ago, if you asked me, I'd be like, no, bro, ain't nothing wrong with y'all. Like y'all just spoiled little rich kids. Like y'all babies.
And I feel like with that has to do with, like, again, a lack of understanding. Because if you understood, then you would know. Like, speaking, like, all the, like, African parents that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, at my church, I'm a youth leader, right? So we've had, like, a conversation one time. We talked about abuse. And, of course, most of them know what physical abuse is. Most of them know what sexual abuse is. But when I started talking about verbal abuse and mental abuse, they were surprised. They were shocked because they didn't know that, what you say to your children, if you're not careful, that is considered abuse. And that messes with their mental.
Man, thug it up. No, I'm kidding.
Because, imagine you have a child, right? And, kids will be kids.
Kids are very malleable. Like kids are very molded to their environment and to where they come from. Right. Like the saying, oh boy, yeah, just like your daddy. That's because you saw your daddy all the time. Right. He did this and now you do doing this. The same thing. And it's a reason why you and your dad like the same sports teams. Or you and your dad have the same posture. Or you and your dad like the same food. Like, no cap, whenever me and my dad hung out, we ate hot ones together. Like all the time. Like me and my brother, right? My dad would go, he'd be like, what y'all want to eat? And he was like, whatever you want to, because like we weren't picky. Right. And he'd be like, I bet we can go to Jared Cricket's. And so we get Jared Cricket's every time we hung out. So now I love hot wings. Like it's crazy. Yeah. And even and even like, sports and things like that are like working out. I think I got the working out thing from my dad too. Because he used to take us to the gym when we were younger. Right. And like he bought us like protein powders and he was like, yo, you got, you bench like this, you squat like this, and this is how you do the curl, and you want to make sure you do your legs. Like if you don't do your legs, you're gonna have a small, blah blah blah. And so, and I think that's a lot of reason why a lot of women are like their moms, because they like nails. Oh, we're going shopping, all that stuff, right? Blah, 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 or whatever. So yeah, I children are real malleable. But continue with your point.
I was just saying that to say, like, obviously it's kind of too late for our parents because we're already at the age to where like it's going to be hard for you to kind of like adapt to something that you're not used to.
You think they're stuck in their ways?
Our parents?
Yeah. Can you change?
Anybody is able to change.
You gotta want to change.
You gotta want to change. And that's very hard for our parents because like they've been doing the same thing, the same routine for years. Even probably before they had us. You know what I'm saying? So then now we're born and now we're telling them like, hey, what you're doing, like, nah, you can't be doing it like that. They're going to look at you like you crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot, like, especially with like African parents, like, because how they were raised differently. and then they come here, and because this society is more Western, there's a lot of things different here in America compared to back home, especially years ago. So yeah, they're adapting, but they're still gonna be stuck in their ways because that's all they know.
And even here in America, like, you know, they say like there's 2 Americas. There's really like 15 Americas, because even black people, generational, like my generation and your generation, compared to like my parents' generation who are like 40, 50 years old, like the gap in, you know, mental health and LGBTQ rights and gun rights and racism and everything like that, it's so like it's night and day. Like, sure, you might find some outliers and, you know, some one-offs or whatever, but for the most part, if you go to the hood and ask dudes about depression, they be like, "What's that?"
Exactly.
Like, they be like, "We don't." And it was even like a ongoing thing in the black community of oh, we don't get depressed, like suicide. We don't do that. And then, you know, the past 10 years, I think like black suicide is like rising, is on the rise or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, we don't kill ourselves. We don't have suicide. We don't. And it's probably even worse, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, like in Ghana and Congolese and all that stuff like that. Cause they'll be like depression. You probably don't even learn about depression in school. Like, we learned about depression, I want to say in middle school.
Yeah, it was middle school.
Yeah, we learned about depression. Like, something like that, middle school. And they was like, oh, this is what it is, blah, blah, blah. But even then, like, you know, like with my family, like, we've never really talked about depression or sadness or coping or PTSD or whatever. Like, bro, you thug it out a little, bro. You straight, bro. You thug it out. You know, it'd be like that. Like, you gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, they was out here fighting civil rights and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Going to war or whatever. Now we have this cupcake life, and it's like they can't. And I don't blame them for it either. Like, I don't blame people that had a really tough life who didn't have to worry about depression or didn't have to think about sadness or anxiety or whatever. And they come here and like they can't comprehend it. I be trying to tell people, imagine going to China and trying to learn a language. Like, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super hard. Like, could you do it? Yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
But if you didn't have to do it, you're probably not gonna do it because you are set in your ways, and then you've done
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you've done this for so long, like you've had no issues your whole life. Like, you've been 10 to 50, and you've had no anxiety, no depression, that you know of at least. Like, no trauma, no nothing. And so now you 50, 60 years old, and it's like, what are you trying to tell me?
Exactly.
Oh, man. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, I just definitely wanted to talk about this. I thought it was a really hot topic right now.
Definitely.
Considering everything we saw. And you gave some good points, my guy. You gave some real good points. Is there anything that you want to say before we head out?
I just think we need to have a lot more conversations like this, because it all starts with a conversation. That's literally, because you'll be surprised. Like, whoever listens to this podcast might, after they listen to this, they'll be like, damn, like, maybe there's something wrong with me, or maybe I need to talk about what I'm going through with somebody, or maybe I need to go to a therapist. So it all starts with conversations like this. That's where it begins. And then from there, who knows? But
I can agree with that. Start a conversation and see where it goes down the rabbit hole, you know? So I agree with that. Yeah. But shout out your lifestyle mental health company.
Oh yeah. Y'all follow our brand on Instagram at no underscore, but at Abrantie and Signora. That's ABRANTIESIGNORA. We got some new stuff on the way this August, so y'all be on the lookout.
Yeah, because this clothing brand is pretty. I've like shot for it a few times.
Yeah,
like it says, be positive, you know, things like that, and like there's hope and love yourself and things like that. So you guys definitely go check out that, you know, get some merch. You feel me? Contact my boy. And hey, men and women out there, black community, if you need some help, just talk, man. Man versus out.